productive, happy. It is cold here on the East Coast. Even here where I am in North Carolina and where I'm from in New York, I'm hearing it's cold up there too. Woo! But I love this time of year, and I hope you do too. I'm just not a summer person. Even when I was a teacher, the only thing I liked about summer was being off from school. Other than that, I'm just not into the hot this, that, and third. I'm just not. I always sweat profusely. I get hot at the drop of a dime, so that's just not my thing. Summer, so I love fall with the fashions, the festivities. Not cold weather, but cooler weather. I love the short days, long nights. Love it, love it, love it. I'm here for it. All right, so let's get into this. It's not going to be very lengthy today. It is how to handle non supportive people. And I hesitate to call them friends because after a while, a non supportive friend is not a friend. So that's why I say non supportive people. Come on, you all. You can all attest and agree to a situation where maybe you had someone you deemed a friend at one point or an associate, but let's just say friend. You deemed them and categorized them as a friend, but you show up for them every time. You show up for events in their lives, uh, births, deaths, what have you, uh, weddings, divorces, whatever the case may be, housewarmings, new jobs. And then you get one little blessing and they're not even there for you. I've had that happen to me. I could think of in my adult life, I would say maybe two people and one in particular. But it comes to a point where they got to wonder, why I or you might not rock with them anymore. They got to take some self inventory, and it's painful. It hurts. It's very, it leaves us with a bad taste in our mouth. It makes us feel some kind of way. And I guess what I'm trying to say is no one has to put up with that. Because to me, non support is very dismissive, it's very selfish, it's very self absorbed, self centered or even it just when you're giving to people and giving and they give you nothing back. And when you are going through positive stuff in your life or even negative and they're nowhere to be found, but you and the troops are always there for them, but they can't give you a fraction of that support. They only pop up when they got an announcement, when they got something to say, when some blessing or they feel it's a blessing or something is popping in their lives. Then they want to come out from wherever they were hiding or retreated to just to make an announcement. But when you were going through the ebbs, the flows, the highs, the lows, they were nowhere to be found. When you were having great moments and maybe even sad moments in the trenches, maybe facing death, facing negativity in life, just need some support. Or on the flip side, you are having so many blessings. It could be a new job, it could be maybe a new child, it could be an engagement, a wedding, a new relationship, just some great news, and they're not part of it. It happens a lot it could happen with friend groups, it could happen with family members, uh, acquaintances, co-workers, colleagues. We could all relate if we really think back in retrospect. Someone where they're not around for any of your stuff, whether it's good, bad, or in between, but you always are there for their stuff, good, bad, and in between. You know, so it's okay to recalibrate, reflect, to evaluate that person in your life. And it's okay to not have them in your life. Because I've always said you are the CEO of your life. You can promote, hire, fire, interview, uh, have changing of titles, and remove. Okay. So it's all right. And I'm just saying this to say because I think most of us at some point in our lives have had a situation where you have someone who's non-supportive, just not supportive. And I'm not saying like everything's got to be tit for tat. I'm not saying that support can look so differently for so many people. Because in issues of, let's say, death, Because I know for a long time, I was a person who I didn't go to funerals unless I felt I really had to. And let me break that down. And unless it was like I felt a close friend of mine had a loss or something of that nature. But then you also got to understand sometimes life be lifing. Things are happening where even if it is a close friend or family member, finances might not permit or time might not be permitting, or you have things to take care of with your own family, maybe children, grandchildren, parents, that you can't be there, but you can still offer support by reaching out to the bereaved person, giving your support in that respect, whether it's monetary or not. Support doesn't always have to be financial. Support doesn't always have to be uh, being physically there, but there's other ways to provide emotional support. Just a thinking of you, call, text, um, DM, whatever the case may be. But what I'm trying to say is there's some people who um, you're going through what I just never really was in that type of mindset where I just some people can do the funeral circuit and they don't think twice or and they're fine with it. But for me, death really hits hard. It always has since I was a child. Up until recent years, I've only been to maybe what I can count on one hand how many funerals I attended, but that has now increased. Still not a whole bunch like a lot of people, but less than the average. Um, so my point is, I'm kind of digressing. Just give people grace, but don't be a doorstep. Don't be a stepping stool. Support can look very differently for different people, as I said earlier, whether it's in good situations and not so good situations, but you know how someone made you feel. You know when someone is stepping up to the plate for you, when people are there for you, but everything doesn't want to have to be tit for tat. Oh, well, when this person went through this, I did this. We don't have to keep a mental check note of or checklist of what this person did for me and what I did for them. It shouldn't be tit for tat. However, there is a stark difference between being supportive and not. Just, like I said, support can look so differently for so many different people. And you pretty much know it when you feel supported by someone. And you definitely know when you're not feeling supported by someone. But my point is, after you've given people grace time and time again, and they still are not showing you support, it's time to remove them from your life. And if you don't do a total cutoff or removal, step aside from that person, step away. That's what I've had to do with certain people. And it's just like, it is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But no one should have to deal with people who don't have your back, who are not, and that's just really disheartening. Um, and it's a sad reality about life, and you know when you see it, and you don't have to put up with it. Plain and simple. It could be in relationships, it could be in friendships, situationships, working relationships. There should be some type of reciprocity with people showing support. Bottom line, bottom line. But it's one thing when you're there for everyone or for someone, good events in their lives, not so good events in their lives, but they're not even matching. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's repetitive. It's been going on when it's going on for years, that's a problem. And I know there was a situation in my personal life where um, someone was doing that, and there were private discussions about someone doing that, and I had to back away from that person. And when I see that person, when I do run into that person, I'm looking in my mind with the mental side eye, like, girl, you don't support nobody, but you want everybody to be there for you. So this is a great time to make those evaluations, promote, demote, fire, do what you need to do. And if you feel that you might be the person who's not supportive, take some reflection, take some ownership, introspection, reflection, correction. If you need to make those apologies to people you've offended and haven't supported, do your thing. That's a great step to maybe fixing relationships that have been damaged because you were not supportive. All right. So that's it for now. Very short, very sweet. So I'm going to leave you all with this. If people have not been supportive, evaluate, decide where you want to put that person in your life. And if you are the perpetrator of not being supportive, let's do some self-inventory, correction, reflection, and maybe reach out to people and make those apologies and correct what you did wrong. And maybe take ownership with those people and say, you know what? I wasn't supportive. I was very selfish. And hopefully they will forgive you and you can move forward. Well, that's all for now. Thank you so much for being here with me. Um, until next time, I believe next time we're going to be talking about something called gray divorces. A lot of people my age range, give or take a few years, are getting divorced, and we're going to delve into that. Thank you so much for being here with me. Have a blessed weekend. Bye.